Tonight on Joynews, 31 suspects arrested in connection with disturbances in the Volta region, slapped with 5 charges, including participation in the campaign of prohibited organization and rioting with weapons. A lawyer for the accused says his clients are innocent and have never been part of a secessionist group.
These 31 persons who have been alleged to have committed those crimes were never and have never been part of this secessionist group.
Meanwhile, one more dead body has been discovered after a raid by security personnel who stormed the North Tong district of the Volta region in pursuit of more of the people believed to have been involved in Friday's disturbances.
This was the place the body was found, and the man who is yet to be identified was shot on Friday, but was found by a man, a resident of the town, on Saturday.
Lawyers for Asin Central MP Kennedy Japan cite post-COVID-19 complications for their client's inability to appear in court today over contempt charges. The court has however summoned the doctor treating him to come and explain the complications.
We'll come back on the day the court has agreed that we come. But everything is fine and there should be no trouble or unnecessary speculation.
Also in this bulletin, Electoral Commission chairperson rejects claims challenges associated with the just-ended exhibition exercise will undermine the integrity of the polls this December.
There's no way under our systems here anybody could say that the elections could be flawed. It is not possible. It is not possible because all our processes are very, very, very transparent. And the issues we see, well, that were witnessed with the shortfalls, is not something that one should say that is a flawed process. Indeed, that's...
And later in this bulletin, the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference says it's about time Ghanaians vote without the influence of material things.
Your votes for the good of Ghana and choose leaders who are courageous in defending truth and justice.
Meanwhile, on the campaign trail, President Akufo-Addo has commissioned a recycling plant in Kumasi at the start of his tour of the Ashanti region. NDC flag bearer John Mahama is also accusing the Akufo-Addo administration of being selective in the construction of cocoa roads. And in business,
the Bank of Ghana has maintained the policy rate at 14.5%, citing inflation risks to the economy.
My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Joynews Prime comes to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle here in Accra on your digital terrestrial TV, because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. 31 persons arrested Friday dawn in connection with the disturbances in Volta region have been slapped with 5 charges by state prosecutors at an Accra Circuit Court. The charges relate to conspiracy to commit crime, namely to attend meetings of a prohibited organization, to participate in the campaign of a prohibited organization, and rioting with weapons. Their pleas were not taken as state prosecutor ASP Sylvia Sari informed the court. The state wants them remanded into custody to aid investigations. He also informed the court the Bureau of National Investigations and other security agencies who have left Accra to the Volta region to conduct further investigations. Lawyer for the accused person Theophilus Donko's application for bail was rejected by the court and they are to reappear on October 13. The lawyer, however, says those in custody are innocent and do not belong to any secessionist group. He joins us with more via Zoom. Good evening to you. I'm grateful for your time. What do you mean if you say your clients are innocent? Kindly unmute for me. Hello, sir. You are still muted. Can you unmute for me?
Is it okay now?
Very well.
My clients are innocent because they do not belong to the Western Togoland secessionist group. They have no connection, they have no link. Nobody has invited them to be part.
You're still on Joynews Prime, and I can hear you loud and clear. Kindly continue.
They do not belong to the secessionist group. They were not involved in the acts that were done on the 25th of September 2020.
So how did they find themselves there in the first place?
Some of them were travelers who were traveling from the Volta region to Accra. Some of them were traveling from Accra to the Volta region. They only went to the scene of crime to observe why there was so much traffic. That's why they were arrested by a team of military and police officers. If you look at the video, these persons are just ordinary Ghanaians. Some are farmers, some are even Nigerians who were doing their normal duties as innocent citizens when they were arrested by the police.
So you're saying that all 31 persons were actually involved in one activity or the other and not part of the secessionist group?
They were not part of the secessionist group. When they were arrested on Friday, in the absence of their lawyers, in the absence of their relatives, when the police cautioned them, they deny all the offenses that have been leveled against them. They have no connection, they have no relationship. They've not been recruited by any group. They've not been invited by any group to destabilize the state or to ask that Volta region should be independent. So they do not belong to the secessionist group, as they want everybody to believe.
So what next for your client? What do you intend to do about this situation?
When the prosecution said that they needed time to investigate the matter further, we were of the view that they were entitled to bail, but the court thought otherwise. And I've told my client that, in fairness to them, if they allow the police to do their investigations and they are discharged unconditionally, it's better for them than to be on bail, because bail comes with its consequences. You are supposed to report to the police or to court, but if you are discharged unconditionally, it means the state has no case against you, so that they can go back to their normal duties or their normal work that they were doing before they found themselves at the place at the time.
But if your clients were this innocent, how come you couldn't discharge them in court? You couldn't argue to get them discharged in court?
In reality, their pleas were not even taken. And at this stage, a court cannot discharge them. It is until the prosecution has found otherwise that these are people who were not involved that they will be discharged. What I said earlier about discharge is that the police themselves will come back to court and say that A, B, C were not involved per our investigation, so the court should discharge them so that they will be free persons and go about their normal duties. The duty of a lawyer is to apply for bail for them, which I did. I canvassed the law that even as suspects per the authority of Martin Pebu, they are entitled to bail at this stage of the trial. That is the only judicial remedy available to them. But the court thought otherwise, that the police should be given 2 weeks to conduct their investigation and come back and report to court. And at that stage, we will repeat our application for bail for the accused person.
So
in court also.
Go ahead.
In court, I also applied that the police should give us access to our clients so that we can talk to them. They should also give access to their relatives so that they will also talk to them. And then we also pray to the court that they should be given the basic necessities of life, like food. They said they were not well fed. So the court also ordered the police to ensure that they are given all these basic necessities of life.
I'm grateful for your time. Theophilus Donko is lawyer for the accused.
Before we end the meeting,
Go ahead.
MFA, one more point.
Go ahead.
My clients tells me that I should tell the whole Ghanaian public that they should not be dragged into political discussion involving them in this matter, because they have not been linked to any political group, any secessionist group, and they have no such affiliation. All that they want is that they want to regain their liberty and reunite with their family and continue to do their work. So they are not related to any political party. They are not related to any secessionist group. Nobody has recruited them or nobody has invited them to do any of the acts that were done on the 25th of September 2020. So all that they want is that they want to regain their liberty and go back to their work and their family.
Point well made. I'm grateful for your time. Theophilus Donko is the counsel for the accused, 31 accused persons who were slapped with charges in court today. Now, the body of one more person believed to have been shot in connection with last Friday's disturbance in the Volta region has been retrieved from the Nyachigno, a fishing community in the North Tongue district. Hundreds of residents in the community are said to have fled the community after security personnel stormed the area in search of some more persons believed to have been involved in the disturbances. Ivy Setoji is our woman there.
Chikpo, one of the farming communities in the North Tongue district, where a body was believed to be retrieved today. According to residents, this was the place the body was found, and the man who is yet to be identified was shot on Friday, but was found by a man, a resident of the town, on Saturday, and the police came for the body today. They actually dug a hole here, and we were told they wanted to bury the body here, but the police decided to take the body back to wherever they are taking the body to. So in this community, we were told over 300 people used to live here, but because of the happenings on Friday, about 11 people are now living in town. Most of them fled the town because of fear. We'll follow up with these issues and we'll bring you more information on the happenings of this area in the North Tongue district.
Ivy Setoji with that update. Meanwhile, the chiefs and people of Bihohoi, Alavanyo, and Anglo traditional areas have jointly condemned Friday's civil disturbances in the Volta region by members of the Homeland Study Group Foundation was seeking to break away from Ghana. While dissociating themselves from the unfortunate incidents, the chief urged the security agencies and government to deal ruthlessly with persons involved.
Some armed men were reported to have attacked the Aveime and Mepe police stations in the North Thorn district of the Volta region on Friday dawn. The armed men attacked both stations simultaneously, overpowered the police officers, freed inmates, broke into the armories and stole firearms. They physically assaulted, shot and injured police officers. They also held some officers hostage and seized vehicles belonging to the Ghana Police Service and the North Thorn District Assembly. Roadblocks were mounted at Tefle, on the Accra-Sugakope Aplau Highway, and at Dropon, on the Accra-Ho Highway. The Western Togoland Restoration Front, in a press statement, claimed ownership for the disturbances, indicating it was to assert their sovereignty over the Western Togoland territory. The officers held hostage were, however, rescued by a joint police-military enforcement team, while the vehicles were retrieved by the formed police unit. Nonetheless, some traditional authorities in the Volta region have condemned the resurgence and disassociated themselves from it. The chief of B. Abansi, Togbe Ajiman V, described the incidents as unfortunate and a threat to Ghana's peace and democracy.
We, the chiefs, elders, and the entire citizenry, with our French settler communities within the Gbin traditional area, condemn in no uncertain terms the activities of this group. We do not condone this act of illegality and vandalism being perpetuated by this group. We, the chiefs, elders, and the people of Binhowe are Voltarians and Ghanaians, and for that matter, owe allegiance to no foreign power than the government of Ghana.
Government's contention that last Friday's disturbances in Volta region involving secessionist group is not a failure of intelligence, however, is being challenged. In this press briefing on Sunday, Information Minister Kojo Ponkroma maintained that security agencies have felt more serious acts of insurgency, adding the situation could have been much worse. Security analyst Colonel Festus Abuaji, retired, who was speaking on Prime Morning TV on Joy Prime, however, disagrees.
The definition of certain terms of art, depending on what area of discipline one is talking about, is not the reserve or preserve of politicians. In intelligence work, an intelligence failure is when, as a result of a number of factors, the intelligence actors are not able to foresee and prevent an event, let's say, by an enemy or any incident that is injurious to the interest of the state, the government, the security forces, and so on. It includes, as a critical example, when you are surprised. In other words, you wake up and you realize that something has happened that you should have known or could have known but couldn't do that. So yesterday I was forced to place on my Facebook post definition of intelligence failure. By that definition, there was a clear intelligence failure. Now, what we cannot determine is at what stage in the cycle, which is about 6 or 7 steps, that the authorities failed to detect that a certain group, whether it was the Homeland Study Foundation or some other group, was preparing to carry out activities that actually are injurious to the sovereignty of this nation. So I would agree with anybody who argues that there was an intelligence failure in very clear terms, and there shouldn't be any ambiguities about.
He believes Friday's incident is an act of war, but still in court, an Accra High Court has ordered a doctor treating Asin Central MP Kennedy Japon to appear in court to explain the medical reason why the legislator could not make it to court on Monday. This was after the court had to put the contempt case against the MP on hold because of the doctor's note saying he is suffering from post-COVID-19 complications. Court correspondent Joseph Akable was there for Joynews.
The MP's lawyers are seeking to ensure he escapes a custodial sentence or a fine for some comments he made regarding a judge. The video recording of his comments was played in court on Friday, with his lawyers asked to speak to it on Monday. But lead counsel Kwame Jan on Monday said the MP was suffering from post-COVID-19 complications. Afenyo Markin, who is part of the team, says there should be no speculations regarding the MP's situation.
We have had a healthy engagement, and we would want to maintain that. At the end of the day, it is one country we have, and the rule of law is all we need to guide everything. We'll come back on the day the court has agreed that we come. But everything is fine, and there should be no trouble or unnecessary speculation. The court must be respected. The Honorable Member of Parliament must also be respected. Partisan politics cannot be the solution in a legal matter, or that an attempt to create a partisan situation around a matter that the court is dealing with will not help. That is why all of us are conducting ourselves in a manner that would ensure that the right things are done.
The court has ordered that a doctor treating the MP appears before it on Thursday, October 1, to explain what exactly is wrong with the MP.
And on your election headquarters, chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jane Mensah, has rejected claims that challenges associated with a just-ended exhibition exercise would affect the integrity of the December elections. This comes after NDC flag bearer John Mahama served notice the party will not accept the outcome of a flawed election. His comments was premised on the anomalies which characterized the exhibition exercise. Madam Jane Mensah told the news conference Monday the processes cannot be said to be flawed, insisting the outcome of the elections would be credible.
There's no way under our systems here anybody could say that the elections could be flawed. It is not possible. It is not possible because all our processes are very, very, very transparent. And the issues we see or that were witnessed with the shortfalls is not something that one should say that is a flawed process. Indeed, that's why we have the registration exercise, so that your attention is drawn to these omissions and so on. Each and every one of us should verify, and for some reason our names will not be on it. The process allows you to be included through a process called inclusion. And it is, I mentioned on 2 occasions during my presentation that the missing data was widespread. It's not centered everywhere. And I think in the future, we should give you a table of where you see the missing data. Then you see that it's not widespread. Then you see that it is not centered in particular places. It is widespread. And therefore, nobody can fault this process. I think it has been a process that has been excellently executed. The exhibition has allowed us to correct the errors and the omissions and the anomalies and to strengthen the process. It is still ongoing. As I mentioned, the deficit is just a little above some 7,000, which is 0.0004% of the total register. We cannot say that this is a flawed process. On election day, it is open as day. Broad daylight, everybody can stand around and monitor what happens. It is not linked, the election day process is a manual process that is not linked to any technology. You go in there, you are verified openly, you are giving your ballot, you cast your vote, you go away. At the end of the process, every Ghanaian can have the opportunity to stand around whilst we count 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. It is as open as day and transparent as the sun. We cannot say for a moment that this process that we've laid out can be flawed. And indeed, if any party knows of any loophole in the process, I think it will be important for them to inform us, inform the public and civil society that there are some gray areas here where the parties are not involved in, so that we open it and make it a tighter system.
Madam Jane Mensah blamed the challenges which characterize the exhibition exercise on human and administrative errors.
This is where the registration kits became faulty. They were withdrawn from the field, and a new one was sent to the field, and the same code was put on the new one. The same code as the one withdrawn was placed on the new one. However, when the faulty kit was brought back into the field, that code was not changed. And so you realize that you had 2 kits with the same ID number, and this meant that they were producing 2 kits with the same code, and this meant that they would produce the same ID numbers. So basically, during the course of registration, when a kit developed a fault, it was replaced. But each kit has its own code for a particular polling station, a particular polling center. However, when the new kit was being brought in, the code of the faulty kit was placed on the new kit. When the repaired kit was brought back into the field, it still maintained that code. And we noticed that due to some human and administrative errors, the codes were not changed. The effect was that it would produce the same ID number as the one that had been replaced. And so this is what resulted in 2 persons having the same ID number. It's important to note that some 88,000 applicants were affected overall. The Commission has remedied this and contacted a good number of them during the registration. We are currently reissuing new voter ID cards to them.
The minority in Parliament, however, says it will summon the Electoral Commission chairperson, Jane Mensah, to the House when sitting resumes next week to answer questions on what it describes as an incompetent management of processes leading to the December elections, despite the massive funds allocated to it. The House in December last year approved a budget of more than 1 billion Ghana cedis for the Electoral Commission for the year 2020. Minority Chief Whip in Parliament, Muntaka Mubarak, says the recent Volta exhibition exercise has shown there are worse problems with the new register than the former one.
The reporter here, you know, way back 2018 March, I've been insisting that the Electoral Commissioner and the chair should address the House. Since she came, she hasn't addressed the House. She comes and then the majority leader will go and take it to the committee. But you know, almost every commissioner, chair, had come to the floor of the House. I mean, I've been here. I mean, the Farajan have been here several times. I mean, Charlotte came, she was on the floor. I just don't know why they keep shielding the lady from the floor. She has to answer why this massive anomaly. You said you were putting in a more robust, efficient system. All of us as should be there. Oh, with a more efficient system, you should have minimal errors. But you now put the so-called more efficient system, and you are having some kind of escalating anomalies. I mean, and that is terrible. Also, this House gave her approval to be able to purchase, devices, verification devices, 75,000. That's what she requested. And the money was given to her. Now, verification counts exhibition, and then you say you are deploying only 5,000. What informed that? Because you needed to deploy every single, all the 33 or so thousand polling stations, because you have double the polling stations. Why did you only do 5,000? This is a question that definitely she has to come and answer. But I hope the majority of them will wake up to the realization that shielding the lady is not even helpful to her. It is better she comes to meet the whole of the House so that she answers to some of these questions. Because, and the coincidence sometimes are just so funny.
And coming up in business, Bank of Ghana keeps policy rates at 14.5%, citing threats of high inflation. Economist Lord Mensah will be joining shortly with Ernest Aite when he takes over.
Hello there, it's now time for business. I'm Charles Aite. Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, says threats to inflation and growth forced it to keep policy rates unchanged. Now, the Monetary Policy Committee left the rate at which it lends to commercial banks at 14.5%, the second time this year. The governor disclosed this today after the committee met to review developments in the economy. George Rafi has more in this report.
The bulk of the financing of that deficit is coming in on the longer term instruments where non-residents are also participating, and therefore the interest rates on those longer term instruments have to be attractive enough to continue to be of interest to the non-resident depositors. So in a sense you can reconcile why this development exists. I mean, if we didn't have a very large fiscal demand for financing, I'm sure.
Well, we're joined via Zoom by economist Dr. Lord Mensah to help us have an analysis on this particular development. Grateful to have you, Doc. From where you sit, was the maintenance of the policy rate expected?
Oh, yeah. And it's not surprising at all because if you look at the dynamics, clearly, these decisions are made in anticipation of the last quarter of the year. And in the last quarter of the year, we have several, things that we expect will put pressure on inflation, will put pressure on exchange rate. Now, if you take election, I mean, clearly, we know very well that if you're getting into the year, system becomes a bit inconvenient, and people will like their money in dollars. And so there'll be demand on dollar. So we foresee that exchange rate will start going up. And then we also looking at getting to a season of Christmas, where we expect that a lot of imports will happen, I mean, in the midst of elections. And so the pressure on the exit rate is going to go up as well. Now, we were anticipating that with the ease of the 19 and economic activities, we should have had a bit of reduction so that funds easily flow. But then the question is, the reduction, would it have impact or not? That's where we have problem in this country.
Great.
We've looked at this policy rate over the years and its impact on lending rate. And the sensitivity is almost zero, as I can put it. So effectively, it gives you the signal that the optimum way they can do what they can do for Ghanaians is to make sure that they maintain it. They cannot increase it either. What is happening.
But Doc, what does this mean? The 14.5%, maintenance. What does it mean to consumers, particularly enterprises that were hard hit by COVID-19?
Yeah, under normal circumstance, when we adopted the Ghana reference rate, for which the monetary policy rate plays a major role, we should expect that, when this policy rate is reduced, it will have that, direct impact. But hey, our, lending is basically on this market-oriented dynamics, which monetary policy rate forms part of it, and then treasury bills. We have to look at the other side of the block, how to price a loan. We're looking at the consumers, credit rating, and then we also have to look at the economy in general, the dynamics of the economy.
Great.
How, it is fair so that those who are lending can easily and be comfortable to say that, hey, if someone borrows, they can easily pay back within the next few years. So therefore, we can lend to them at a lower rate or reduce that credit risk premium component of, lending. So even though it has been maintained, we expect that it would have fed into, this lending rate, but then we don't see that. So for consumers, it gives you the signal that there's no hope, going forward.
Finally, before I let you go, you rightly made a point regarding the lending rates. We do know that per the Bank of Ghana figures, it's dropped to about 21.3%, in July this year. Now, this translates into about 1.78% per month charge on loans. It is very encouraging looking at where we've come from 4 years ago, in which lending rates were hovering around 29% on the average. But help us translate this, into the pockets of Ghanaians who often feel the brunt of high interest rates at the various banks. Shortly.
Yeah, well, if interest rate comes down, the margin that it has come down, if it is significant, then you should be comfortable working or to borrow. Because you know very well that, whatever amount you are going to borrow, when you put it into use, you will definitely generate more than the cost of borrowing so that you can pay back your loan and possibly benefit from the difference between what you generate and then the interest rate that you pay on problems. I don't think we have enough funds flowing around as expected.
Interesting analysis. Dr. Lord Mensah, we're grateful that you joined us. He's an economist sharing his thoughts on the maintenance of the monetary policy rate at 14.5%. That'll be all for this edition of Business. We'll be back at 8 to stay. Sports is up next.
Another Monday, thank you for joining us on the Sports. Gary Al Smith here. Today, it's a Ghanaians Abroad edition. Mohamed Kudus has been endearing himself to his teammates and fans in the Netherlands after some eye-catching performances in preseason and his man of the match display in the Eredivisie on match day 2. Now, the 20-year-old followed that up with another great display against Vitesse over the weekend. Joy Sports' Ori Kwampofo has been monitoring him and filed this report.
Mohamed Kudus continued his blistering start to life for Ajax with an incredible performance against Vitesse. The Ghanaian featured at the center of the park for the second consecutive match, signaling that might be his role going forward. Kudus' pace caused trouble for the opposition in both defense and attack as his work rate on Saturday night was immense. The former Nordjylland player enjoyed the full length of the game, but had to put in an extra shift because of the red card shown to Edson Alvarez in the first half. Kudus had 67 touches off the ball, winning 11 duels on the night. Defensively, The Ghanaian international won 3 tackles and made 1 interception. Going forward, Kudus completed 6 dribbles, made 2 key passes, and provided the match-winning assist. Kudus' overall performance on the night was very impressive. Last week, he was adjudged man of the match in his first competitive game. Ajax coach Ten Hag was impressed with the 20-year-old's performance, describing it as very active and dynamic with high intensity. The win extended Ajax's winning start to the season to 3 games, and with Kudus playing like this, he could become a key player for the Dutch champions this season.
Right, so quick update. We are just hearing from the families and the Ghana Football Association about the updates on the kids who died last time in that accident. So let's see what the update is right now. For the Ofinso accident, we understand that 4 of the juvenile footballers who died have been buried, and all the hospitalized players, thank God, have been discharged. The last one was on Saturday. Now there'll be a mass burial for the other 4, and that is slated for this coming Thursday. And the government has pledged to take care of the cost of the burial. So that's an update on the Ofinso accident. So back to Ghanaians abroad, and in just a couple of hours ago, the news has been coming that Kevin Prince Boateng has signed for yet another club. This is on our Instagram. The club he has signed for is AC Monza, and the man he's standing there with is none other than Galliani, who, of course, you might remember, signed him to AC Milan. So Galliani and Silvio Berlusconi are teaming up for this project for Monza, who are a Serie B club, and they are hoping that Kevin and others will help them to come up to Serie A. And would you know, Kevin Prince Boateng himself is on the line on Zoom for us to talk to him about a couple of other things. Hi, Kevin. Kevin, you have to unmute. Mute.
Wait, you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you, Kevin. How are you doing?
Hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you?
And congratulations on your move.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, but that's not why we are here today. You were very interested in the kids who died in the Ofinso accident, right?
Yes, I heard about it. Made me really, really sad, to be honest. I heard it on social media. Then I called a friend of mine to ask him if it was really true and what happened. And he told me about it, and I feel really sad about it because I have kids of my own. I have 2 kids, one who's 12, one who's 6. So I think it's like a big tragedy, and yeah, it hit me hard, you know.
Kevin, can you see the screen? We are rolling the ages of the kids there. Yeah, some are 16, 13, and I mean, this is what they are looking like, you know, on a normal day. How did you first hear of the news, Kevin?
No, I heard, like, I saw it on social media, and then I went on the news. I Googled it to wanted to see and know more about it. But every more details you know about it makes you feel more sad, you know. So that's why I'm here, and I want to talk to you guys, and I wanted to let you know that I want to help.
Whoa, okay. So, like I gave the update, the mass burial for the other 4 will be on Thursday. How would you want to help, Kevin?
Anything what is necessary, I would like to help. I want to get in touch with the families. I want to give them the necessity to feel free to. I know it's hard, and I can't even imagine how hard it is for like parents to bury their kids, you know. But I just want to help them to free their mind on all of that, to just enjoy the life they had with the kids, and don't think about anything else, you know. I want to help them to free their mind on burying the kids or celebration or whatever they want to do. I want to be here to help.
Nice one. Is it true, Kevin? I'd heard that your forebears are from Kumasi. You know, is that true? That your relatives are in Kumasi?
Yeah, it's true. It's true, yeah.
Who are Kumasi boy?
Hey, Charlie.
Okay. All right. So we don't have a lot of time. Let's make it a chat on another time. But congratulations on your
Thank
move
you very much.
to Monza, and we hope to see you soon.
My condolences to all the families who've lost their children, and happy for the other kids who made it out safe and who can be safe home from the hospital. And yeah, we keep in touch, and please let me know what I can do, and I'll be ready to help.
No problem. All the best. Take care.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
So, Kevin Prince Boateng there. Do we have a bit of time to do other stories? No, my producer. That's it for the sport for today. Let's catch up on Fan Zone. I'll be here at 10:30 to take you through all the highlights of Liverpool versus Arsenal and everything else. Gary L. Smith here. Thank you for your time.
And it's time now for Showbiz. Becky is here with the very latest. Hello, Becky.
Hello to you, Aisha. How you doing?
Check.
Yeah, Aisha. Let's talk about Kwame Eugene. So what this reminds me of is Beyonce. Beyonce was once asked in it's not a movie. It's actually a music video. Pretty Heads. What is your aspiration in life? And she said that this question is a very difficult question, but eventually she said that her aspiration in life is just to be happy. Guess what Kwame Eugene's aspiration in life is?
I mean, the fact that I see smiles in these guys' faces, man, it keeps me moving. At the end of the day, I feel Charlie. I get some family at the end of the day, I can just come back to them so we can still have our fun. This is the place I can still go around and buy watch anytime. What I say. But I can't do it elsewhere, anywhere around this country. But for that matter, they know when I come home, I'm home. I feel free, walk around, and eat all the
Mr. Eugene. So that was Kwame Eugene on E-Vibes.
Yes.
For those of you who watched E-Vibes, we thank you so much. It's still showing on the Joynews channel, and
we enjoyed it.
Yeah, a lot of people.
We love Kwame Eugene.
Yes.
So what do you expect?
Yeah, and it was a beautiful thing. I'm talking too much, am I not?
No, you're not.
Okay, let's talk about
Kwame Eugene. Is okay.
Yeah, let's talk about Miss Universe. So we have a new queen.
Okay.
You want to know who that queen is and what she has for Ghana and
Tell
the rest
me
of the
about
world?
her.
Well, take it away, honey.
I have always wanted this dream since I was a little girl, and I'm so glad that it's finally come true, because I feel like everyone kind of wants to be a pageant queen when they're a little girl, and then when it comes true, it's like, wow, it's really here. It's so surreal. Yeah.
What are you going to do from the other queens that have won before you?
It's all about action and impact. Not that the other queens have not done that, but I plan on doing it 24/7, 365, no days off, interacting with my fans, with social media, with my family, with my friends, and with everyone who needs help, really. That's what I'll do differently.
This is more of entertainment, so I just want to chip it in. Who's your favorite musician here in Ghana?
My favorite musician is Stonebwoy. He's a fellow Voltarian, so, you know, it kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah.
What's your favorite Stonebwoy song?
Nkuto.
Kelsey, and I'm Miss Universe Ghana 2020. Let the journey begin.
Thank you so much for bringing us Showbiz, and that'll be it for Showbiz.
Our old man, C.K. Tedder, would always repeat that mantra, and I always remember, he keeps repeating it. United we stand, divided we fall. As parents unite for victory is a clear sign that we are a team, solidly knitted together for the battle of 2020, which inshallah we shall win massively through hard work and oneness of purpose. This is because we have stayed true to the good people of Ghana by delivering on most of our promises.
So what would make you vote this December for the NPP or the NDC or any of the other political parties if you are a first-time voter? Let's go to the OT region where correspondent Peter Seno has been interacting with some first-time voters.
Will you come out to vote December 7th?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, you? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So all of us are voting?
Yes, sir.
You too?
Yeah, I'm really voting.
Mary?
Vote.
You vote?
Yeah, vote, sure. Yes, vote.
Now, the bigger question is, what will influence your decision to come out to vote on December 7th? What policies are of interest to you? in Ghana? Let's take it from you.
As for me, here lies the case. I'm a student. Oh, I will vote because of the free education. Because the free education is helping. So I have to vote for the free education to move on.
I'll vote for the previous government to come back and continue their good work, because we've seen it not to be like, yeah, that's it. I want them to come back because according to the manifesto, the legalization of the Okada and many more, let me say many more. Because
okay, you have just mentioned the legalization of the Okada. What specific interest is of that to you? What would you say is unique about the legalization of the Okada to you?
You know, let me say there's no work. If you are not to any level of education, you won't be picked to work. So I think the Okada will give us some petty monies to like do what you want to do. So I think it's good if the previous government is back.
I can say that NDC manifesto is very, very interesting.
What is interesting about the NDC manifesto?
The NDC government has already implemented that their free education will also be coming up. And I can see that they can implement it. And it's a good idea he has brought up.
The free education, the one district, one dam, everything about MPP, I like it. And to add up to what my brother is saying, he just completed SHS, so he wants to move on. That's why we vote for NDC. And if we didn't bring the free SHS, will you be able to finish that one? So what we started, don't say you come and end it. We started it.
Leadership of the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference says it's about time Ghanaians cast their ballots without allowing material and other influences to choose their political leaders. It says that way the country will elect persons who have the interest of the country at heart. Speaking at the 50th anniversary of the Noble Order of the Ladies of Marshall, President of the conference, Most Reverend Philip Name, says it is about time Christian service and the value of gospel truth, love and justice is fostered in national politics. There's more in the following report.
The Ladies of Marshall is the women's wing of the Noble of Order of the Knights of Marshall of the Catholic Church, whose motto is unity, charity, fraternity and service. Less than 3 months to the election, leadership reiterates the need for Christian values and service be fostered into our national politics. In a speech read on his behalf, President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, Most Reverend Philip Name, encouraged Christians to partake in political discussions to influence positive change.
Vote according to your conscience, without allowing yourself to be dictated to by anyone or be influenced by threats, bribes, self-interest, etc. Use your votes for the good of Ghana and choose leaders who are courageous in defending truth and justice for all. The values of the gospel, truth, love, justice, and life, as well as Christian service, are to be fostered in our national politics. We urge you to take the political, social, economic, and moral implications of faith seriously and not treat them with apathy, indifference, and nonchalance. Political engagement is a worthy Christian task, and public office is an honorable Christian vocation.
He spoke at the 50 years anniversary celebrations of the Noble Order of the Ladies of Marshall under the theme 50 years of the Ladies of Marshall in Christian Service, the way forward. Most Royal Sister Dame Dr. Agatha Ikuaboni is Grand Lady of the group,
The youth should not make themselves be used as elements or way to bring about any discomfort. So don't let them use you in any way to cause any mischievous action. Your life is more important. Your parents need you. The country needs you. So that together, if we can do all these things, we'll bring peace to Ghana.
Members of the Afram Plains community of Lihaji are for the first time seeing lights in the village, even though they are not connected to the national grid, thanks to the benevolence of former Charge Boss Justice Emil Short and other donors who funded a 16,000 city solar system to power the facility. It all started, though, with a Joynews story highlighting how the only clinic in the village did not have electricity. So the only nurse there, Moses Ganke, had to travel for 2 hours every day over the Afram River by canoe to the nearest community with power to store medicines in someone's home. Here's a report by Justice Beidou.
In the village too.
At least I have to cross the river 3 to 4 times every week after every immunization session. And sometimes I'm very tired, but I have no option to cross the river because if I don't do, the vaccines will spoil. The weather may not even be favorable to cross the river, but if I don't cross to, the vaccines will go bad.
That was the voice of Moses Ganke, the only nurse in the clinic when we first came here this year. The story we told then touched hearts and minds, and today change has come. With support from kind donors, including former Shraj boss Emil Short, the clinic in Lihaji now has solar power.
Previously, people come with diseases which are complicated because maybe sometimes the thing started in the night around even 6, 7, but because the place is dark, even when they come, I'll tell them I have closed because there is no light for me to do all these documentations and take them through everything. So by the time they come the following morning for you to attend to them, in fact, it is complicated. All this has been reduced significantly by intervention of the solar power.
In Lihaji, dancing to Bobobo songs is a fun way of keeping active and showing off culture. But today, their dance is to say Akpe. Thank you for turning the light on in this village's only clinic.
I'm acknowledging Joynews for them doing their best and then strongly helping when they came to this clinic. Seconds, then within a twinkle of an eye, they promised and then it happens.
Justice Beidou, Joynews, Lihaji, in the Afram Plains.
15 districts in the Ashanti region will benefit from the One District, One Hospital project. President Akufo-Addo reiterated the need for quality healthcare delivery. He says will be extended to the very vulnerable in the country. Dubbed Agenda 111, 111 hospitals in all will be built across the country. Speaking at a deba at the Menchia Palace Monday, the president revealed this project scheduled to be completed in 12 months.
Agenda 111. Yareba COVID. My nyansa bebre esua nema bebre efrem bako and they say health facilities ya pomodie ishisha ho awo na and sheda nyebe many parts of the country any district hospitals to begin with. It's me can't to say a few more year be babe shasia for the next 12 months and see 111 hospitals in Ghana across the country. Not any Agenda 111. At this time, 101 districts. Every district hospitals no called actually hospitals and also say Babi Shase. Now Santimemu there were 15 districts. District hospitals eba enibi adansia sokwa Efija Kwabre North, Ahafuano Southwest, Amansia South, Asokore Mampo Municipal, Echimambua Bieja North District, Bosome Freho District, Obuasi East District, Central District, Efija Kwabre South District, Ahafuano South East District, Asokwa Municipal, Echimampo Nyan District, Krofon District, and Echimakwa Woma District. So 15 districts are going to get district hospitals in the course of the next 12 months so that we have a full coverage of this.
We'll take a break on Joynews Prime. We're back with more.
And in this edition on business, once the largest chicken producer in West Africa, jaundiced by financial constraints and expansion fatigue, Dako Farms has now been revitalized under government One District, One Factory program with a re-injection of 22 million cedis in capital from the Ghana Exim Bank. There is more in this report. Mr. Alan Tremantin, as part of his second phase business tour of business resource centers and 1D1F factories in the Western North, Ashanti and Bono East regions, paid a whistle stop at Dako Farms, where he relished government's revitalization program for struggling factory.
Dako Farms was a celebrated or signature company for many years, and I mean it fell off the radar completely because they were in distress. So can you imagine that just through the intervention of 1D1F, this company is alive. All the components of the program, from hatchery to breeder stock, where we are now, to processing, all the components of the operation. Because this is one of the few vertically integrated poultry operations in the whole of West Africa.
The impact of this capital will see a massive expansion of the production capacity of this poultry producing company. The managing director of Dako Farms, Samuel Dako, is confident that the production capacity will shoot up by nearly half, from 4 million day-old chicks a year to 7 million when the new equipment is installed.
For some time now, we were off the radar, and all the infrastructure was available. The infrastructure, which was built since 1967, was still there. We have the farmhouses, we have the hatchery house, we have the processing house, we have all those facilities were there. But the advantage that we had was we didn't need to go and buy land, we didn't need to go and put in new structures. We just needed a little bit of finance and to bring in new equipment and to augment the production, and that is what has happened, and that's what that's the impact that is made to us.
In 2018, Ghana imported over 500,000 broiler day-old chicks and 7 million layer day-old chicks. Currently, there is limited regulation on local hatcheries. The government of Ghana is yet to pass into law a hatchery bill, which will ensure that quality day-old chicks are produced from domestic hatcheries. So far, 18 million cedis of the injected capital has been disbursed for the revitalization of Dako Farms, with the remaining 4 million cedis expected to be rolled out in months' time. I'm Charles Aite for Joy Business. And that's how we wrap up this edition of Business. Many thanks for watching.
We wrap up the bulletin tonight. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for watching.